Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming from my bathroom, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about postpartum recovery because, as you guys know, I'm almost 1 month postpartum, and there were so many things that no one told me about like the whole postpartum recovery process, and I think it's really important to talk about these things. You know, when I was getting ready for Riley to enter this world, we took a lot of like baby classes, and they teach you things, you know, like how to change a diaper and how to wash the baby, how to give the baby a bath. It seems like all the preparation and all the stuff that like you try to learn about has to do with the baby. But it's also important, I think, to kind of prepare yourself for all the stuff that you're gonna have to do to take care of yourself postpartum, which is something that could really easily be overlooked. So luckily I did have my mom who kind of helped to prepare me somewhat for all this stuff that was gonna happen postpartum, but a lot of it still, like, I never expected that the recovery process was gonna be as difficult as it was. My birth was a vaginal birth, so I had always heard, you know, that C-sections were like a lot more recovery was involved when you had a C-section, so I figured, you know, I'm having a vaginal birth and it's not gonna be that bad. Like, I've heard stories of people who are like, oh, I was back on my feet in 2 days. And yeah, I was back on my feet the first day because I had to walk to the NICU to see my baby, but there was so much recovery that was still necessary in order for me to finally feel like myself again. So what I wanna do is I wanna share a couple of the things that I used to recover, some tips, because now that I'm almost 1 month postpartum, I will say that it wasn't until this past week that I finally started to feel like, okay, I can walk around the house and not feel pain. So if it does take a couple weeks, maybe even 3 weeks like it did for me, that's totally normal. So yeah, just like anticipate that you're not gonna be like as mobile as you were before you gave birth right after. You know, it's gonna take some time for your body to heal, especially if you had like a lot of tears. So just give your body that time that it needs, because I promise you, if you try to do things way too quickly and you don't give your body that time to heal, you're just gonna be in a whole world of pain. So the first thing that I recommend that you definitely have are meds. I was alternating between Motrin and Tylenol, I guess like an extra strength Tylenol all day for 3 weeks. So I would take Motrin, I would take Tylenol. As soon as I could take them, I would take them, because again, I had so much pain and like pressure down there. It was just not a fun situation. Like, I would like be walking around the house like on my tiptoes, like just so that nothing down there was like hurting, and it was just like, it was still very painful, and it was definitely painful without those meds. So definitely take your meds. Now, I have a bag of the stuff that they gave me at the hospital for postpartum recovery, so I'm gonna share a couple of those things so you can actually see what they look like. So this was the bag that they gave me. So first of all, these are the mesh panties that everybody always talks to you about if you've done any research on postpartum. So these are the mesh panties, super, super attractive. I only use these maybe like when I was still in the hospital. As soon as I got home, I put on some granny panties and I changed out of these because I guess they're comfortable, because like they're super stretchy and they're lightweight, but I don't know, to like have like pads and stuff in here just like was not really fun, and no, I didn't really like it. So they gave me, I think, maybe 2 or 3 pairs of these when I was in the hospital, but I ended up only using like 1. So then the other thing that they give you is they give you these gigantic pads. So gigantic pads. The first couple days that I was in the hospital, I definitely used these because I was bleeding a lot. So you're gonna get a ton of those, and you're even gonna get like these are like dog wee-wee pads, like the dog, like the pads that you put on the floor so that the dogs don't make a mess. So I guess this was supposed to be like for the bed, just to make sure that I don't like make a mess out of things, but I don't know, I never used these. Definitely didn't use them when I got home. If I was using them in the hospital, it's because I didn't know it. So they gave me a whole collection of those. I think I'm gonna give them to my sister who has a dog. And then there's a couple other things that they gave me that I put in my little like postpartum recovery kit. So they gave me this, and this is Dermoplast. I don't know if you can see what it looks like. It's like a pain relieving spray. It's supposed to like kind of act as, you know, like a numbing thing down there. I didn't really like this. I used it when I was in the hospital, but as soon as I got home, I used this instead, which is the Earth Mama Angel Baby New Mama Bottom Spray. This, I use like I went through like a whole bottle in like the first couple weeks, and then I ordered like some more because every time that I would go to the bathroom, I would put this on down there. And I don't know, it was just like really cooling, really refreshing. I have no idea like what magical formula is in this, but I think it says, oh, there's witch hazel in here. So I'm sure that that helps the recovery process. But I really, really love this. I recommend it. I ordered a couple new bottles on Amazon, so you can order it on Amazon. So I'll leave a link to it down below in case you're in the process of almost giving birth and you want to order one for yourself. But I highly recommend it. It was probably like my favorite postpartum recovery product, and my mom is the one that found it for me, so thank you, mama, because without it I would have been in a whole world of pain. And then at the hospital they also gave me this peri bottle. So this is what a peri bottle is, and basically it's how you're gonna clean yourself for the next few weeks. You're not allowed to like take toilet paper and like rub down there, so you have to like just take that peri bottle, you fill it up with warm water, and then you like spray yourself with it, and then you just kind of like blot down there to clean yourself. So in case you didn't know, now you know, because again, everything that they talk about when you're pregnant is about the baby and how you're gonna care for your baby after, but you gotta care about yourself too. And a lot of this stuff you don't know. And then they just hand you a bag of shit at the hospital and they're like, all right, here's all your stuff. And you're like, great, no one told me I was gonna have to do any of this. And then the last thing that they gave me is they gave me this pack I bought myself, but they gave me like a generic formula of this, these Tux cooling pads. They are medicated cooling pads. Let me see if I can take these out and show you what they look like. They're supposed to be for hemorrhoids, but they are also used for postpartum recovery, just because they're these pads that have witch hazel on them. So you can buy these Tux. I think we bought these at Walgreens just to have some extra. And then they're just like, they look like those like facial cloths. But yeah. So what you would do is you would basically like put a few of these down on top of the pad that's in your underwear, and it just makes it feel nice down there. And then I was using two different kinds of pads. These I'm almost done with them because they're the ones that I use the most, but these were like the Always Maxi. They're size 5, extra heavy overnight. These things are huge, so just to show you, I'm gonna show you. These are the pads. They are huge pads, but it says up to 10 hours leak guard protection. I use these probably like as soon as I got home for like the first couple weeks, because again, depending on your situation, you could bleed a lot. So those are the ones that I use the most, especially at night. And then as the weeks went on, like even now, these are the ones that I use, just like a thinner pad. I hate pads. I am definitely more of a tampon kind of girl, but you can't use those for the first 6 weeks. Just like they tell you can't have sex for 6 weeks because they don't want anything going inside of you, just to make sure that you don't get any kind of infection. So again, in case no one told you, you won't be having sex for 6 weeks after you give birth. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I would recommend for postpartum recovery would be some kind of like a waist trainer, like some kind of waist compression, because legit, as soon as I gave birth and I looked at my stomach, I was so depressed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was super depressed because I felt like I was still super pregnant and my belly was just super flabby. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought I was gonna at least lose most of the weight once I gave birth. And so as soon as I got home, my mom bought me like it's not a corset. What I used was just like this like elasticy band thing. So I'll link it below. She got it at Target. And that has at least helped to give me some kind of compression to my stomach. And I have seen that like it's helped for like my waist to go back to normal, and like my stomach, it's still not there completely. I'm almost 1 month postpartum, and my weight when I was pregnant with Riley was, I think I got up to 152 pounds. And my pre-baby weight was, I was like 127, 128 pounds. And today I'm 138 pounds. So I still have like 10 pounds to go, maybe a little bit more, but I don't think that's too bad postpartum. But I'm definitely, as soon as I get the okay, when I'm 6 weeks postpartum, that's when like I should get the okay to like start working out, and I'm looking forward to that because I definitely need to lose these last 10 pounds. Oh wait, there's one more thing that I suggest. So I was taking regular sitz baths, and If you don't know what a sitz bath is, Google it, look it up. It's basically like you sit on the toilet, but there's like this bowl that you fill with like warm water. And what I would do is I would take Epsom salts and I would sprinkle the salts into like the water, the warm water. And Epsom salt is really good to help you recover. It's got like a lot of healing properties. So those sitz baths I was taking maybe twice a day, and it was just super nice and relaxing, and it helps like your muscles relax down there. And again, all of these healing chemicals, like they help things get back to normal. So yeah, that's it. I'm hoping that at least you learned something. If you didn't know anything about postpartum recovery, it can definitely be very painful. But the good news is that after a couple weeks, you should be somewhat back to normal. And then you have your beautiful baby to look at and you're like, man, it was so worth it. You totally destroyed my vagina, but I love you so much. So that's it. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned, or you have any other questions about postpartum recovery, if there's anything you're curious about, let me know. Leave me a comment down below, and I would appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.